Martin, welcome to episode 94. Always catch you unawares. How you doing?
Could have been worse. Yeah, no, I'm well, thank you. Yeah.
I feel like I've just peered through your window in your lounge.
I
And
was
I've
just
just,
picking my
yeah,
nose, let's just sitting here having a cup of tea.
yeah. How you been?
I'm all right. Yeah, very well, thank
Good,
you. Yeah.
good. Apologies, we haven't got a video out recently. I've been on holiday. I've been to Gibraltar and I have been to Belgium. So I saw some guns in Gibraltar. We went up the rock there, and I was in my element, as were many men, being able to explain the difference between a battery and a gun to their respective partners.
Dragging bored wives around with them. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. There's always the monkeys to look at for them, so they can see the monkeys. But there's a lot of walking up there. If you walk up the rock, we got the cable car up, but even so, you can still walk up. Have you been to Gibraltar? Have you done?
No, I've never been to Gibraltar. I've been quite close to it. I've been in Spain, just over the border, but never actually in.
I mean, it really is an awkward two fingers up at Spain, and I think Spain have a similar thing. I think in Morocco they've got kind of like an overseas territory across. So I don't think countries are immune to this kind of thing, but we literally have red London buses going around and policemen dressed in English policemen stuff, and red telephone boxes and red post boxes.
It's an extraordinary sort of like blip in history, really, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And it's I don't know. Yeah, I mean it's strange. And then of course we walked across the border as well, and that annoyed me because I'm a staunch Remainer in the Brexit kind of debate, and of course you've got to start showing passports and things because it's going from a non-EU to an EU place. And then that side of Spain isn't quite as Gibraltar is quite affluent and it's quite touristy. Obviously, it's but the prices there are expensive. So I mean, to buy a property over there, it's almost equivalent of like a London property in terms of the cost. You're talking about sort of £500,000-700,000 for a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom flat in Gibraltar. It's not cheap, but you can do the whole thing in 3-4 days. We stayed on there's a literal cruise liner that's been like kind of permanently moored. I don't think it's ever gone out to sea, and you can stay on there. And so we stayed in the on the cruise liner, as it were, which was quite fun. And had a good look around, so that was nice. And then last week I was in Belgium. I was in Lommel or Lommel. I'm not quite sure how we pronounce it. And there is a scenario as well. I did check to see.
Well, exactly. I was thinking this is Bastogne territory. This is Battle of the Bulge territory, isn't it?
It's not far off. Yeah. So there's a scenario called. Let me just grab it. And I was thinking we should play it. Storm in Lommel or Storm in Lommel. I don't quite know how you pronounce that. But and it looks quite good. There's a whole bunch of tanks, 5.5 turns, not one step back from the Death to Fascism pack, and it looks like a good little scenario. So I think we should have a look at that at some point.
We should definitely play that.
But I didn't see any battles. I was in Seton Parks. So Seton Parks, the only battles there are between frustrated partners who can't take the swimming pool anymore. But it was good fun, and went there. It was my friends, and we've all turned 50 this year, so we all took our respective families up to Centre Parks and moaned about trying to run around a badminton court because it was all quite hard work. But that's that.
That sounds good.
Yeah. So we've been playing a little bit. We've got a game to show shortly. We're not going to show it in this episode because we have started a campaign. Martin, what have we started?
We have indeed. So Sommer Église, Drop Zone. That's the proper name, isn't it? Drop Zone. Yeah. So we're playing the first campaign, which is very manageable in scale. Actually, because I played this guy in Wales. He's the only official recorded person who plays in Wales. He hasn't been playing very long, but he claims to be the best player in Wales, which is a nice nice thing to be able to claim. But he's always asking, what should be the first campaign game? Like what's not too big, it's not going to be because I think some of the Red Barricades ones are dauntingly big, aren't they? This isn't dauntingly big. It's I think it wouldn't be a bad early campaign game, actually.
That's right. And I think the only challenge, because I think a lot of people talk about Pegasus Bridge being the first campaign game to try out, and I'm trying to think, in Pegasus Bridge, do you do perimeters and stuff? Do you draw perimeters? I can't remember.
Yes, you do. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Because I think that's always the challenging part. And I think you and I have certainly, I think the great thing about playing, a campaign game is that you kind of experience the whole idea of, not just win or lose a scenario, but actually you've got to think about where your forces end up at the end of the scenario and how they're going to regroup. And I think if you are not suitably matched in terms of your play, your ability in a campaign style, you can definitely get beaten by the campaign management of the perimeter drawing. Suddenly,
And we'll see some of that next time, won't we, when we look at the... Yeah. Martin May has taught me, actually, with Pegasus Bridge, because I was always a little bit awestruck by the scale of the rules and stuff. And he said, look, all you do is you get to the end of the first date, and you just follow through the steps in the rule book in the order that they're there. Everything that's broken becomes unbroken. You've got to complete close combat. And if you follow the steps, it's relatively straightforward. It's a little bit fiddly with the perimeter, isn't it?
Yes.
And actually, I've never done it, but I think the rule book is right. It might be easier on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Rather than sort of placing loads and loads of counters.
Yeah.
But yeah, the thing is, by going step by step, that works mechanically, but it means that you're surprised by things that you've done didn't have the effect that you hoped. You think, right, I made some advances there. Oh no, they're isolated. They've got to escape now. They're surrounded. And getting your head around how those mechanics impact.
And there's a great example. So we'll see it next time when we show the video. But there's you've got a little outpost, a little building, and I'm trying to attack it with a few conscript squads. And as I've pushed in, I can't quite figure out how I'm going to take this one building. So I've managed to get a assault move basically next to it, ready in theory for next turn's defensive fire or whether I'll push you out. The scenario ends, and of course I haven't got that area as a strategic location, and all my guys are basically forced back all the way back to where they came from. And now knowing that, you can take more chances, because if they all break at that point and the scenario ends, generally what happens is all your guys unbreak and they come back again, and then you redraw. Yeah, exactly. So you can be a lot more aggressive on that last turn to see what happens and try to absolutely push for that strategic location. And then
I wonder if that's why the rules nearly always make the last turn a little bit uncertain. Yeah, exactly that.
And then ultimately, then the thing you've got to try and figure out is what the layer of when you get these additional strategic objective chits that you get in Sumericles, which you and I just threw around like confetti, didn't we? We didn't know what we were doing with them. But suddenly you can see how much of a big difference they make. And then there's another layer on top of that, which is that you can convert some of your CPP points that you're going to be spending into these chits as well. So not only are you using these to decide whether you go first or whether you go second or whether you set up first or whatever it might be, and to extend the turn, but also you can convert those into some objective chits, and that really adds a lot of replayability and extra kind of thought behind. So you can definitely see how with multiple plays of the same campaign you can really become quite tactically astute by playing it.
I don't think we're there yet.
We're not there yet.
But the thing is that the rules are slightly different, aren't they, in St. Mary Glees than other campaign. In fact, all campaign games seem to vary those rules slightly. So those strategic location counters that you can place, they don't exist in others. Well, they do, but strategitic locations is defined by the rules. So so you're just using those counters to claim them, sort of thing. So it does change as well from
it's been good
campaign to campaign.
And in terms of counter density, it's been great. There's no issues there. There is a slight feeling, I think I've gleaned from you, in terms of a little bit like in Donant, where you don't really know whether you're winning or losing a campaign, with this idea of how much firepower the Germans can put on the road and whether the Americans can
Yeah.
swallow them up. And I think that's
Yeah.
going to come with some experience of.
I mean, we've said this before, but I've heard people say that you should really play the campaign game like quickly through the first date or two,
Yeah.
so that both players have got an understanding of what reinforcements they're going to get, where they're going to come on, because that's it's difficult when you're trying to get your head around special rules and all sorts of stuff. You sit down to play the game, and then you get started, and then suddenly you realise that all your guys are going to be exposed to this huge counter attack on the which you didn't even realise was coming.
Well, we didn't even know which side our guys were coming on from as
well,
did we?
Took a long time working that out, didn't we? I mean, would you recommend, should somebody who's been playing ASL for a year or two play a campaign game?
Oh, without doubt they should do. Yeah. I think there's no question. I think the challenge is always going to be for something like Samaric Lees, which is a good intro one, but it's a lot of bagage, and we've had that kind of debate about, well, if I think things like Decision at Elst are a better campaign game to play as your first one. It's a starter kit one. It doesn't have to be starter kit.
Yeah,
there may be some.
Rules, can't you?
You can, absolutely.
Yeah.
You just play single story buildings, and you can, you can allow or disallow bypass as you see fit. And if I would suggest if the weaker player is the attacker, they can bypass, and if it's if they're not, then don't let them. Something like that. But that is I think a little bit more. And singling as well is the other one. I think is a good.
I've never played that. Yeah.
Okay, that's a good one for
I guess from somebody who's perhaps been playing a year or two, I suppose that you're invariably going to have a night scenario. In the vast majority of campaign games, there's a night scenario. Yeah. So and there's one at the end. I think it's the last date in our game.
Yep.
And it seems, I mean, we've actually got glider landings as well in this. So there are some areas of rules which I don't think they're desperately complex. Actually, glider landing rules. It's a bit more in Pegasus Bridge because they land at night, don't they? There's a couple of extra modifiers or whatever. But
And this is where the beauty of ASL comes: is that if you throw yourself into it and to say, okay, look, we're gonna do it. What you see in a campaign game like this is so much more than you will see from a normal scenario. So you're thinking about, again, strategic locations. You're thinking about preservation of force. You're thinking about how long. You're trying to work out, do I want to go first or second? You've got to think about the force makeup and what you're going to buy. On top of the night scenario, the gliders, and if you can take it bit by bit, it's a great experience. Scenarios by comparison will pale into, there's just nothing. There's nothing there compared to a campaign game because of all the extra thoughts. The downside with campaign games that I've found is that you tend to get a little bit sunblind to them after a while. It's too much. I yearn for some different terrain or some different, and it's fine for, I think, two or three scenarios you're okay. But I know I love playing Red Barricades and I love playing Red Factories and Valor of the Guards. But I remember every time I play 2 or 3 scenarios on the trot there, I start yearning for hills and gullies and nice. I know there's some gullies in Red Barricades, but green terrain. And it's a little bit like this one with I could just sense it a little bit with SME, where you're suddenly, I wouldn't mind a city fire right now. There is a little bits of cities in SME, but if you play a long time on the same kind of map, you just yearn a little bit for it. But I'm having a good time. We're enjoying it. As always, lately I'm feeling my luck is bad, and so I'm kind of screwing off. Old man shouts at clouds, with dice and ASL. But
well, we'll play through the next campaign game date next time, won't we?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
To see just how in actual fact your luck wasn't that bad. But,
let's hope. Yeah, let's hope.
I don't remember actually. Was it bad?
Yeah, there was definitely. Yeah, the mortars are frustrating. The last roll was frustrating. The number of casualties I lost on the escaping was frustrating. There was a lot of but it's ASL, it's dice, isn't it? Today, what are we looking at, Martin?
We are going to look at the finally, of the Illuminating Rounds 2023 championships.
There's a big prize at stake. Ian Willey has been hard at work.
And I would show a picture of it now, but we can't because it will spoil the end of the episode.
It will. We'll show you
the name of has the name of the winner engraved on it.
It does. So yeah, we'll show you that at the end. And we were waiting for a couple of final game logs to come in, but we've got 4 to show everybody.
Yeah.
We're going to start with my one because I'm going to show you how not to defend. And to be fair to Tom, he felt he was defending and set up a defense, and then I thought I was defending. He was right. He should have been defending. So I threw up a very makeshift defense, and we'll talk about it right now if you like.
Okay.
So, Martin, do you want to talk us about the scenario? Tell us what's going on.
Yeah, certainly. So it's the Japanese defending against an Australian attack. It's a Signal Hill bounding BFP 66 from Blood and Jungle. If people want to look the scenario card up, it's basically an infantry force defending. You've got 8, 9 to 11 Japanese squads. Mixture of first and second line. You've got 4 crew, so quite a selection of medium and heavy machine guns. There's also an infantry gun hip somewhere, presumably on the board. Attacking them is a force of 14 elite Australian squads, very good leadership, 9-2, 8-1, a couple of 7-0s. And this is the key thing, really. We've got 2 tanks, a Matilda, which are not great tanks by any stretch, but also a Matilda Frog, which has the flamethrower, which is nice. Yeah,
indeed. Now there's a kind of an interesting SSR here around throwing down a whole bunch of shell holes that become rubble, and each player has to put 8 of these down, and then you have this kind of strange process where you can move 4 of them in alternating situations, and they kind of randomly move around. So it's kind of a nice idea to be able to, always a nice idea to be able to deform the terrain in some way. And there's definitely some advantages that you can think about in terms of turning some jungle, for example, or woods into shell holes, for example, because that gives you some great lines of sight certainly on the back row as the Japanese player to stop the Australians from getting off. Because the Australians have got to get off how many points?
21 victory points, 21. Exit victory points. Yeah, off the west edge of the left-hand side to us,
Bear in mind that these tanks are probably 7 each, I think. So, you're looking at, there's a 9-2. So, if you get those 2 off and the 9-2, you're looking at, 3 or 4 more points. It's not a huge ask, really. So you've got to stop a lot of these guys, and including the tanks. Now, the problem here is you don't have a lot of tank destroying capabilities. And this is something I've kind of found out very, very near the end of my scenario. The infantry gun here.
Yeah, you got the infantry gun, but it's also 1945, isn't it? The Japanese have a lot of tank hunter hero capability.
Right. They do, if you remember to put them out in the board. And this is why we're starting with mine, because I did not remember to put my tank hunter heroes.
Right. Okay.
And so even then, I was thinking, okay, well, maybe I should be generating them during the end. And it's just one of those things where Tom didn't give me a lot of opportunities, but I certainly did not do a great job in terms of taking advantage. And I think for the Japanese, you absolutely need every advantage you can get. You need the tank hunter heroes. You need the hips to be meaningful. You need the infantry gun to have an effect. So the problem with the infantry gun at the back here is that I think it's got a to kill of something like 9 or something like that, 70 star, something.
Yeah, it needs a side shot really against the Matildas or a rear shot.
And when you put it right at the back here, you're generally not going to get any side shots at all. You might get some good shots against some infantry coming across here. But
having said that, I suppose a deliberate immobilization is essentially a win as well, isn't it? I guess.
Yeah, exactly. But again, when you're looking at +5 and then move in,
you still need to roll better than you normally roll.
That's very true. That's very true. So we're going to say that again, taking nothing away from Tom on this one, by the way. I don't.
No.
So we're gonna zoom through this one and see. So Tom's. I'm going to zoom. This is a tricky map to show you everything that's going on. So it starts off at the top. Now, I was kind of a little bit pleased to see that Tom had kind of pushed most of his force down the bottom, because it does mean that I can leave a relatively small amount of troops at the top, and then basically try to focus bit.
Mm.
Straight away, Tom is searching, which is very, very good. Starts revealing some of my my guys. Doesn't get any search casualties here. We run through. The tanks are coming on here. There's some searching that's going on with.
I can't see the tanks.
You can't. Oh, wait. Hang on. Let's just stop and make sure you've got all the things. Hang on a second.
Yeah.
All right. So there's the counters back. So we need the just so we know, you need the BFP extension for Vassal.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of versions of it, so you've got to be careful you get the latest version, because one had one of the tanks and the other one didn't. But anyway, so Tom is now sending his guys through. I think this was an armored assault that then searched and then was casualty reduced, I think. On comes some more guys down the bottom. We start having a look, but you can see that there's a fair amount of force coming in already that I can't really deal with. There's going to be some jumping around here. I'm actually going to just change something a second. Martin, talk amongst yourselves for a second. Martin, let me just.
Yeah, certainly. The Australians do look quite strong in as much as there's a lot. But having said that, they've got a long way to go through, quite good defensive positions. These are strong stone buildings and stuff, aren't they?
Right. Exactly.
Be interesting to see how it plays out.
All right. Okay. I've just turned the circles off and I've stopped the map jumping around.
Okay.
Which is what I wanted to do. Right. Okay. So so the Australians pushing forward. We get a pin in my Japanese half squad.
Yep.
The
Australian, straight into the melee.
Straight into melee. I kind of pull back here.
Yeah. So you did a self break there.
Yep.
Yeah. Voluntary.
Yep. And already the Australians are. There's a bit more searching going on. This is turn 2 now. Pushing through. They
are going through like butter through hot butter.
And it's 7 turns. 7 turns in deluxe is always a long time, because you see there I pick off one of the squads from my this is my heavy machine gun.
But mostly it's the Japanese being picked off. But it's very kind of like systematic, relentless advance.
Yeah, we placed something wrong here. I get this wrong. I was thinking that detection was allowed here, so that you could allow the Australians to go through my hex if I'm hip, because the Japanese had that special rule. But that's only in jungle and kunai, not in rubber.
Yes, yeah.
And I don't even think that PTO is in effect here either. So. Cheated on many levels. So Tom graciously pushed his guy back. But we did catch that a bit late.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, this is a nice shot here.
I mean, you've got the smoke protecting them, but it's good.
Yeah.
Of course, you're going to roll high.
Yeah, they're around. And in come the Australians, and I mean, with what 5 hexes to go, 6 hexes to go, and
this is the thing, isn't it? It looks a long way. I always fall for that with a deluxe, but actually, you could go off in one turn.
Yeah, exactly. And now we've got this ability where the half squads are able to jump into close combat with the crews. It's all looking tricky here. Here you've got a CX guy in with my crew here.
So he's pushed into that close combat. Yeah.
This would have been a hip guy, I would imagine, up there. I think.
Yeah. I see. Right. Yeah. Because you're stealthy and concealed, aren't you? He's concealed.
Yeah.
CX.
He's stealthy as well.
Yeah. You're both. Of course, Australians are stealthy, aren't they?
Yeah. So we mutually wipe each other out.
Mutually assured destruction there. Wow.
Which is okay for me, I think, up here.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I've got one light machine gun covering this road here. So I kind of feel like, okay, at the top here with the light machine gun that you won't be able to see, but it is in D1.
Yeah.
Sorry, C2. Sorry, covering the bridge at the top. But it's the bottom that I've got the problem.
Yeah.
The Japanese will sneak around here. So I pull back as best I can. Sorry, the Australians will sneak around.
Yeah.
And so I kind of pull back in as best good order as I can.
It feels early, doesn't it, to be pulling back that far?
Yeah, and we were on turn 3 here.
I like the hip machine gun C2. That's doing a good job.
It is. In comes the flamethrowing tank just to mop up everything.
With those tanks, isn't he?
Yeah. So in they come.
Yeah.
The 9.2s now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, in prime position really.
Yeah.
There's some mortar firing here. You can see there's a couple of 11s and 10s and stuff. Another 12 here on the.
Tanks coming through. He's really been pushed into that little corner, though.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
You must know there's a hip unit in that C2 building.
Yes, exactly that. Yeah,
no attempt to protect it. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So we've done a good job here. The 10-1 here has done a good job in terms of holding. It's the heavy machine gun holding everyone back here. Which is quite nice, but the heavy machine gun really wants to be, down here, C3, C4. It needs to be. It's out of place here. So although it's kind of protected everything, so we're going down the gully. He's not going to use that bridge. Pushing forward.
Sensible. I don't think I'd want to use that bridge if I thought there were people.
Yeah,
trying to
and awkwardly, this 10-1 is also kind of shepherding the Australians away from my hip here. So in a way, I'm kind of thinking if I'd have got the 10-1 down a little bit, closer to this building, maybe they would have used the bridge to come across. But there's some prep fire. Basically, I've got to try and stop these guys getting down here. But not a lot's going on. We just did a little bit of reposition. I actually put the 10-1 just in the middle here. There's not a lot more I can do. In terms of it's just
just can't get any further because it's a heavy.
Yeah. Tom's able to now run into this one here. We're bouncing back.
Right, I didn't know the gun was there because all the viewers can see it.
Yes, you can't see it. Okay, right. Yes,
that's good. That's saved you, really, hasn't it? I think.
Well, it hasn't. It hasn't. I mean, the problem is that the tank. I can't
be able to deal with it.
Yeah, I mean, at this point here, if I turn and fire at the tank, I'm going to use my last shot up, and I'm not going to.
You're not going to hit him. Or you're not going to damage him, probably.
Yeah. I mean, I go for it just because, and I suddenly get excited thinking I've got rate of fire, and of course I don't because of conditional rate of fire. Turn in a woods, rate of fire is down by 1. So there's nothing going on. I think I intensify. Maybe I don't. I can't remember. Yeah, maybe intensify here, but nothing going on.
Yeah, even if and that's it then, isn't it?
These guys are going to run off here. The flamethrowing tank's going to come off. And there's a sneaky bit you can basically run off.
Nice.
So we've got
there's Joe popping in to watch the game.
Haha.
Hello, Joe, if you're watching.
Yeah. And this was pretty much it. There was I was able to take the shot here. But a nice snake eyes does for the crew there, and we finish up And by the way, I mean, I rolled great dice. I was 6.98 average.
Yeah.
There was no, you know, no issues in terms of bad dice for me really.
No.
Tom just you know outplayed me, and I think it goes to show if the Japanese find a weakness, if the Australians find a weakness in the Japanese setup, you can really push hard in that one area, and you can force it through. However, having said that, no tank hunter heroes needed to be doing that. If I'd have got those two tanks, it may have been very different. There was still probably quite a lot of stuff that would have come off, but whether we'd get to 21 points, I think is another thing.
You can even use tank hunter heroes if you set them up at the beginning in places which the British or the Australians are likely to advance into.
Right.
Because although they disappear, I think they're destroyed if you move through them in the movement phase. If you advance into a hex with a tank hunter hero, they can try and close combat you, and they've got all the benefits of surprise and hand to hand. You know, they're concealed, stealthy.
Yep.
So if they ambush you, it's hand to hand.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's a double. You know, it's they've only got 2 firepower, but or is it one? Yes.
You can give them the demo charge as well, can't you? You can do some things like that to
yes, that's right. There's only the one, isn't there? But,
yes.
But the thing is, it's often quite difficult to guess exactly where someone will advance.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah. No,
anyway,
nice.
Good game.
So
Good game.
it was good fun. Tom played well. You know, just outplayed by a better player, which is
very proficient. It looks so professional, doesn't it?
And this is, by the way, turn 4. I mean, so you know, 3 more turns if you wanted to slow down. So we played this in an evening. It was nice. All right, let's move on to the next one.
Yes.
Okay, so we've got Doug Leslie against Steve Slunt. Doug is defending with the Japanese.
Yeah.
And we have more upfront defense. I think obviously we can't see the hip units. And we've seen that the shell holes have done their stuff a little bit further forward. It looks like the shell holes have been a little bit more effective in the rubble.
Yeah.
But all right. So you want to step through this, Martin, and we'll.
Okay. And my understanding is that dice played a quite big role in this game.
Okay. All right. Well, as they always do.
Yeah. Right. Why? Page down isn't. Oh, it is working. Okay. All right. Here we go. Right. So they're coming in with the tanks on the bottom. Is that riders? Have they got riders?
Okay. Yeah, it's armored assault probably, is it?
Armored assault probably, yeah.
Okay. There's the 9-2 already out here.
The big boy.
Yeah.
But they've already lost concealment. It's interesting that the Australians it's a more upfront defence, so the Australians are having to be more restrained in how far they can go.
Yes. It's not that easy terrain to come back across this road. This H road here is quite tricky for the Japanese to get back over.
Right, yes, So that sort of forward defence is risky because you potentially get destroyed in place.
Yeah.
What's this? Advancing fire. So there wasn't much defensive fire, was there?
No.
I don't think. So it was a cautious first turn.
Yep.
But the Australians can be cautious. They've got, as you say, your game. The game's over by turn 4. So it's now Japanese turn, I think. Yeah. The Japanese are moving. A little bit of prep fire.
Oh, there's the heavy. Turn up there.
There's the heavy, yeah. It's a nightmare, isn't it? How do you deal with something as powerful as that gun?
Yeah.
But yeah, if it gets trapped there and left behind, it's. So this is the Australians now sort of moving forward, using smoke, using the tanks. Is the one on the bottom? That's the flamethrower, isn't it? Yeah.
Yep. Here's the infantry gun.
Oh, yeah.
Nice up front there.
Yeah. Japanese definitely going for a very upfront defence.
Oh, the flamethrower. The flamethrower's broke. Oh.
Right, okay, right.
So
that's impactful, isn't it? Because I was almost about to say just how important that is, really, because it just solves all your problems one by one.
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah. Yeah. So the thing here is that the Australians are attacking in a line.
Is it jumping around, by the way?
It's not for me. It's okay.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
So yeah, because the Australians are attacking in a line, I think it does help the Japanese a little bit because they're able to piecemeal take on, like, it's a fair fight in all places, really.
Yeah. Well, you did not face a fair fight on the bottom board, did you?
Did not. Exactly. No. Oh, it's a 6-6 there in the close combat.
Yeah. So you can see there's been some discussion about dice rolls.
Yes,
there. They're bringing up the analysis.
Yeah, Steve had rolled an 8.25 average, so it's pretty grim.
Yeah, it's nice though when things aren't going the way you want, and you've got that kind of you can say, well, look, you've literally rolled too lower than me or something like that.
Yes, yeah.
Like every shot was fired by a 10 -2 leader.
Doug's had a 6 here, and it's a hit.
Yeah.
So
wow.
What broke there? Probably a mortar somewhere, I guess.
Oh,
this is the human wave that then.
Right. Okay. So this human wave doesn't happen, I think. I think that's right.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. So I think he's after the tank. Okay. So but the half squad isn't visible on Vassal on the
right.
Sorry, it's, who's playing the Japanese? It's Doug.
So Doug attempts a
human wave to get the tank, and but cannot see that some of the infantry is there, particularly the one in the hex with the and so once that mistake becomes clear, a Vassal error, I think they agree to allow him to take it back. So all this is exciting though it looks.
Yes.
Isn't happening.
Now, we've had this a couple of times, haven't we, with a unit that has just disappeared on one of our screens. It seems to have happened a couple of Vassal versions ago. There's a strange bug in there that and it's quite hard to spot it because obviously you're suddenly moving a unit around and the other person saying sure, no problems, and then suddenly they're like, well, hang on a minute, I don't know, I can't see this thing.
Exactly. So okay, so we carry on from here, I guess.
Yes.
This is what really happened.
Right.
A bit of prep fire.
Yeah, the Japanese are in.
Go on.
The Japanese are in good order here, aren't they? They're holding this kind of line.
Yeah. And I can't help thinking that with that flamethrower had decimated I4, it might be, and it was still working. It might be quite different. Feel right now.
Got a Fanatic squad up in J4 now.
Oh yeah. But he's in melee.
Yeah.
Doesn't help you in melee, does it?
Does not, no.
So a bit of long distance fire there. And this is the Australian turn 3, isn't it? So this. Okay, so they're locked in melee up there. So you've got the bit of prep fire. Of course, they've got to just.
Oh, the flamethrowing tank, just went there. That's quite dangerous, though, isn't it? The flamethrowing tank on his own, next to the units. There's another more dice being thrown up on the screen. Is that the game over at that point, or are they?
I think this is the end of the game. Yeah. It is the end of the game.
Yeah, so the Australians just couldn't make. Oh, they've got a mouthed. The tank's mouthed at the top there.
Yeah, so they've lost one tank. They've lost the most powerful weapon on the other tank.
The flamethrower's gone.
And everywhere they're bogged down, really, aren't they?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Tough.
Interesting. Very different. Very, very different.
Nicely
done with Doug. Unlucky Steve. Now, Steve felt this was a tough one on the Australians, and I think if you look at this in isolation, you'd agree, wouldn't you, that this looks tough for the Australians. I obviously felt like I didn't do the Japanese any kind of justice at all.
Right. Yeah.
Probably set too far back. Looking at this setup, much. See, I mean, the guy in I1 right at the top of the board there. looks like a really difficult place to get out of. But I suppose you can come through the gully and you can come back up again.
You can go straight into the gully under the bridge, can't you, from that position?
Yeah.
So Steve sent a short amount of commentary and said that the difficulty for this, how he sees it, is that it's not enough you obviously can't break the Japanese. So you've got the step reduction, then your casualty reduce, and then you break. So it's that you've got to break them 3 times. They're in stone buildings. Their morale's quite good. The leader's quite good at bringing them back and stuff like that. So there just isn't sort of time to be able to do all of that.
Right. And they're reasonable.
They're reasonable, and that's exactly the situation, isn't it? As it's occurred here, definitely.
Yeah, and so I think my response to that would be that when a flamethrowing tank is right next to you, it doesn't really matter if you're step reducing or whatever. A lot of those times, and the Australians do have those three weapons. The tanks and the 2 flamethrowers. And they've got time on their side, but I think you have to push in one area. I haven't seen the other 2 games, so we'll see if that's any different. But I feel like if the Australians are pushing in one area with a little bit of a diversionary force, just to keep the Japanese honest in the other map, it might be a little bit easier.
Certainly, that looks like how the way to do it, based on the games we've seen so far.
Okay, then. All right, so let's move on to the next one. Okay, so Mike Grogan, Japanese.
Yep.
Tomo Lukari is the Australians.
Correct. Yeah. And straight away, this is a different setup, isn't it?
Now, I'm not seeing a lot of rubble on here. I'm seeing 2.
Yeah. And maybe they're going to do that. Or were they supposed to do it before they set up?
Yeah, I think before.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. That doesn't look like that's been played right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But this is very heavy on one side. In fact, there isn't even the diversionary force.
Right. This is the Australians coming all the way down the bottom. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the Japanese look weak there. Of course, we don't know what hit units they have.
Right.
And where those are placed.
Yeah.
And because there's no diversionary force, there's nothing to stop them running everybody down. And so it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. It's different to every game we've seen so far. Okay, right. So we're getting snipers being put out and things. That must have been the weather. And
these guys just didn't fancy all that rubble.
No,
malarkey.
No. Don't blame them. That unit's gone a long way up J3.
Wow, look at this. I mean, they've fooled us already with this attack going up.
It's actually going for the north. Yeah. Getting all the way to K1. Yes, it's a long way forward.
Yeah, so the Japanese
Japanese are shooting back now. Yeah.
But there's certainly here's some hip have just turned up the light machine gun.
I never know whether to put fire for residual in like a building and stuff. Woods maybe, but nice little. I think there's some damage there.
Yeah, was it?
No.
Task check. Yeah, you passed.
Yeah. Okay.
It's worth mentioning that the Japanese sniper is very good, isn't it? The Japanese sniper's 4 on this.
Yeah.
So better than usual, I suppose.
Yeah. So we got nice, kind of like clear attack by the Australians. Really, they're just in that K line in the buildings.
Yep.
Nice. And of course, they're able to move relatively safely now that the Japanese have final fired. Got a tank there. Is that in bypass? It must be, mustn't it?
Yeah. Now, interestingly, I think this is one of those ones where you can bring the attacking force on or after turn 1. And I was really nervous. I thought that was actually a good thing to do because, for example, in this instance where you pile everything down, you can leave, for example, the 2 tanks off.
Yeah.
Wait for the Japanese to kind of reposition to bring them down. And then on the next turn, for example, or the turn after, when the Japanese are all out of position, then bring them on.
That's really clever. I would never have thought of that. I would be thinking, like, why on earth would you bring something on later?
Right.
But, you're a brighter guy than me.
Well, I didn't. It didn't help me. But anyway, I mean, look, I guess you're offsetting the idea of if the flamethrower breaks early or something like that, or if it does very, very well early. You've had that kind of like compounding success.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So
on the one hand, I like this attack by the Australians, but at the same time, there's a danger of it being bottled up there, isn't there?
Yes. Yeah.
I guess. Okay. So there's some prep fire. Is that prep fire for the Japanese?
Is it advanced?
It's advancing fire. It's advancing fire. Sorry. Yeah. More or less ineffective, I think. And then the advances. That looks dangerous.
Look at that.
Yeah, look at that.
Wow.
It's brave though, but you've got good morale. I think all the Australians are great morale.
And the other thing is you're kind of pointing at a flamethrower tank is pointing back at these guys. They don't really want to be hanging around.
No, that's right. Yeah.
So you got to pull back here. I don't know what do you do? You're Japanese.
I'm not sure. Not sure. So there's the heat prep fired. The heavy machine gun you've got perhaps a little bit isolated in H3 on the top there. Tank misses.
Yeah, the Japanese do pull back.
Yeah,
again, this is where it's tricky, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get pinned in that.
Luckily, in H3 where they went to, they couldn't be seen by the tank.
Right.
But they can, of course, be seen from I1. But it looks like it doesn't look like anything happened to them.
I think they pinned, didn't they?
Yeah, one of them pinned. One squad pinned. Okay. So it's the Australians now firing back. So where are they going to go? Are they going to go back into the I3 stone building?
I can't see it.
There's a few brokers.
Yeah, back in there, back.
Oh, look at that.
He's gone back.
Yeah. I mean, that's the advantage of them, isn't it? It's that they don't die easily, or they don't break easily.
Yeah. But there's only really a couple of squads holding off. A lot of them. There's not a lot there.
Yeah.
And if you look at, like, for example, the top section of the board and the board D, there's a lot of Japanese up there that aren't doing very much.
Yeah. Although they've been doing... Who's in control of that centre? Oh, it's the British are getting in... The Australians, getting in control.
But, I mean, you've got... Like, if we look at J2 and F2 and G5 and F5, there's... All of these guys aren't doing very much.
As much as they might, as they perhaps should be. Oh, there's the Australians. Oh, there's the gun. And now the gun is, as it turns out, not brilliantly placed, I suppose.
Oof, yeah, he gets a 3. I guess it's a critical,
result, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying it's not a good place, but it's considering where the Australians have come on.
It can be bypassed now, can't it? Yeah, But that's a nice spot to see H1 there.
See H1.
As in, you can see the H1.
Right. Yeah. You can see I2 as well, I think.
Yeah, that is nice.
Anyway, they're pressing forward, those Australians.
That's nice as well, because you can probably get a side shot if one of the tanks comes past here briefly.
That might be the thinking. Yeah. Especially it's the sort of place it might even stop.
Yeah.
But the Australians are taking some losses. There's broken units all over the place.
Yep.
Yeah. But it's looking weak at that bottom now, isn't it, the Japanese? There's not many units left. I wonder what's going to happen in the centre, I4 and I5 and stuff. Is that... I mean, they're all British units, and the 9-2 is there.
Right.
Are we going to see how that develops? It'd be interesting. Because I'm thinking the breakthrough is on the bottom, but actually there's a lot of force in the middle. Oh, not anymore. Oh, they just moved. So there's the
mortar's the furthest forward.
Australian unit. Mortars are such mixed blessings, aren't they? Really, there's a lot of broken Australians. I mean, this does not. It's not. I don't think the Australians look like they're going to win this.
I mean, here's the thing. So you've got
another one.
Yeah, you've got the 6 and the 8-1 leader there against the striped guy. But this is effectively going to clear the way if you can get down there. But you're right. I mean, Japanese.
They've just lost in G4. Just lost I I think a half squad carrying that flamethrower.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's here comes the big boy though. He's gone to collect the flamethrower. And he's pinned, but that's all right, isn't it? Yeah, right. They malfunctioned the machine gun.
Yep. Yeah, I don't fancy the close combat here for the Japanese.
Yeah, and it's a striped squad. Yeah. Well, they didn't advance in. Oh, they did advance in. Yeah. 9-2 trying to move over a bit. Broke
do you know what? The Australians lost something there, did they? In that close combat? May have lost a half, scored something.
I think they might have done. Yeah, I think so.
But
they won it.
Yeah.
Mm.
So you've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14, maybe 15 points down here only.
And there's the heavy machine gun in C4. Yeah. It's looking. I think it's
tough. Looking tough for the Australians.
Yeah, the Australians don't find the machine gun.
Oh, right.
Japan. Yeah, so that's them taking those off. Okay, so they're repositioning. This is obviously the Japanese turn. Okay, so the other tank. Because these tanks are key just for the points, aren't they?
That's right.
Yeah. No, look at them sneaking through.
Skirting through, yeah.
Yeah,
this is the problem. The heavies now, I guess in B4 you can protect it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Australians coming back down around.
Yeah.
Concealed around there.
Yeah.
The heavies pulled back here. Oh, this is. I think B4 was the place to go, was it? I think. Well, I suppose you can still see A5, but maybe not.
Yeah.
Looks a bit exposed there, doesn't it?
It does a bit. But he wasn't fancying that close combat.
We're on it's turn 4 as well. Turn 4.
Putting up a fight. Yeah, he's moved back.
He's back. Yeah, he's back now. Yeah.
That is.
I see. So you want to, okay. So you want to avoid B4 to avoid any defensive fire, and then just jump in. Okay, that's fair.
The Japanese in counterattacked a little bit in E4.
Yeah.
And all that stack in the middle, I'm not sure they've come through to join
around,
the 9-2 and the 8-1 now.
9-2 is all the way down here now. Look at this E5.
Yeah. Now literally.
They've taken out the heavy machine gun.
Yeah. That's got to be. In fact, looks like they possess it.
Yeah.
Now. Yeah. So that I think makes this quite likely to be an Australian win, but it's not certain. I'd be interesting to count how many points he's got down there.
So at the moment,
he's got both tanks, and he's 3 for the leader, isn't there?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, I think there's 22 plus the it's 25, I think. So 26, 27, 28, something like that. 28.
It's enough.
Yeah.
There we go. That's where we ended it. So.
Yeah, they called
it. Oh, no, that's not the end of the game.
Oh, okay.
Yes, there's another log file.
Okay, all right.
Okay. Can I do load continuation?
Tools, load continuation.
Tools, load continuation.
I don't. As the Japanese player, like firing this up for the evening, thinking, I'm going to turn this around. It's quite the optimist here, but maybe.
Yeah.
I suppose B2 probably can see A5, possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly.
It doesn't look clear to me who's going to win, to be fair. I mean, the Japanese are moving into that position there. They're going to be able to make it difficult for them. How much time they got? That's the thing. Is this still a bit of time, isn't there? Yeah.
There's some squads off here, I think.
Yeah. British Australians mainly prep fired that turn. Tank went off.
Oh, the tank! No, did the tank? broke. What did it break? Did it break the bow machine gun? I think there was a 6.6 there somewhere. I think it broke the bow machine gun. I think it just fired the bow.
Okay. But one of the tanks has gone off.
Right.
Yeah, it's IFT roll, so it must have been like the machine gun.
No, I mean, assume it wasn't the flamethrower.
Well, no, I think the flamethrower is in good.
Yeah.
There's no counter on the flamethrower.
Yeah.
Because it'd get recalled, wouldn't it?
I only tried to fix it. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
I think there's a rule about flamethrowers as well, not necessarily.
And it's not actually, well, the thing is, it's not its main armament, is it?
Right.
It is its main armament, yeah. Okay. And I don't know if you can fix them. Can you fix them?
Yeah. I think so, but.
Okay. Right. Right, Japanese counter-attacking here a little bit, trying to get in there.
Right, so can we see? So they haven't got the casualty. Where have they got the? Oh, they're up here. They've put them on the turn counter. What's come off?
Yes.
I suppose.
Mm.
Have they put them up here? No, where have they put them?
I think the
Yeah, I can't tell. I can't tell where they've put them.
Okay. So we don't know how many points have got off. Is that what you
don't see.
Yeah.
I don't see any marker for it.
Yeah. Yeah. They're perhaps just keeping track.
Yeah.
Between them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. They certainly got one tank off. Oh, look, he's gone into reverse, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Is that yeah?
Yeah. Well, there's
Japanese are really closing in on this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's some squads here.
Yeah.
So I can't tell how close they are.
No, it's quite.
There's a 7.
Okay, there goes the 9-2. So he's worth 3 points. Is he with a squad? Yes. Yeah. So that's 5 points, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, there's some residual there, but he's going to brave it, I think. Yeah, they're braving the residual.
Last turn here, yeah.
Right, did they come off? Or did they just die? I think they came off because...
Yeah, there was an 8 rolled on the 1.
Yeah. Right, so this tank is in reverse.
Oh, here's the guys here are off the board at the top.
Oh, right, okay.
But he hasn't put the other tank up there.
How many tanks are up there?
Oh, no, he has. There's one tank up here.
Yeah. And there's this one reversing off.
Right, so we've got 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So if this tank comes off, I think they win.
And it's reversing off. Oh, yeah, that's quite a stylish way to win, isn't it?
waving to the crowd.
So, I think that's it. That's the end of the log file.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's the final turn. Yeah. And actually quite close. That could easily have gone the other way.
Yeah. And instead he showboats off by rolling off in reverse. That's a win. Nicely done. That was a good game. It
was a good game.
So let's move on to the final. Okay, so we have Assad as the Japanese in the final. This is the final against Dave Maresque, who's the Australians.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And we've got a bit of a pre-match commentary for the log that didn't quite start.
So unfortunately, they forgot to start the log file until Japanese turn 2. So we've missed 2 Australian turns and obviously the Japanese turn 1. But we have a summary, which I shall read to you now. Okay. So turn 1 summary. Careful movement on the Allied part. Left very few shots, but did cause a half squad to go fanatic and create a hero. The hero tried to close combat a pinned 347, but got ambushed and died in close combat. The flame tank fired into a suspected hip hex and guessed right, revealing and striping a unit.
Wow.
The Japanese fell back slightly on their turn, so it doesn't sound like that turn was much to see. Turn 2 summary, so this is obviously just Australian turn. More careful movement on the Allied part. We forgot about the mild breeze early on. which helped the Allies slightly, but then we corrected things moving on. You should see what happens from there.
Oh.
That sounds exciting.
Okay.
Assad, this is about whether who had luck and not. So I think I won't read that bit for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So we've got a fairly, again, a upfront defense, which we've seen as the better response for the Japanese. And we've seen a wide attack for the Australians, which in theory is a less effective attack so far.
Yeah.
So if we were betting men, we
would bet
Assad.
on the
we
Japanese.
We would say Assad
Yeah.
for this one right now.
But having said that, it looks quite weak on the bottom. The Japanese look weak on the bottom, don't they?
Yes. Yeah. But there's not that many points down there. I suppose there's 6 or so points.
Yeah.
But yeah, the 9-2s lurk in there as well.
Yeah.
All right. Then, okay.
Okay. Right. So this is Japanese turn 2. Okay. So no, sorry, this is Australian.
We just had a prep fire in Japanese. So.
Oh yes, that's right. Yeah. So yeah. Oh right, they just rolled double 6. Always. Always a good start. Yeah. That must be the heavy that's just.
I think it was. I think it was. Yeah, the heavies turned up in E4.
Oh, that was a light machine gun, but the heavies just turned up in E4. Yeah. Taking some shots into the melee, I think. Sorry, I'm just trying to work out what's going on here.
Yeah, so there's a bit of firing at the top in the melee as well.
Yes, yeah.
Berserk leader, Japanese leader.
Right, okay. Got Japanese really trying to fall back, I think.
Yeah, Australians strong in the centre, aren't they?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, look, there's a tank under here. It's the first one we've seen, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. And he gets in.
He rolls a 9 on the attack. And,
yeah.
Oh, that was, I guess, yeah.
I mean, Japanese been quite aggressive in some places on the
yes.
north. I mean, they got a hand-to-hand melee up there. Okay. Right, so that was... No, it's advancing fire. Japanese advancing fire. So I don't think there'll be a lot of this.
Japanese champions close combat.
Yeah. Well, they've got some benefits, haven't they? If it goes the Japanese way, it makes a big difference.
Well, it didn't.
In fact, it didn't, though, no. Okay. Yeah, falling back. So I think it's the first time we've seen extensive use of vehicle smoke, like tank-fired smoke.
Yeah.
To help the British out. We've got covered arc fixed. British getting in the road. Sorry, I keep calling them British. Australians getting in the road. And there's the gun in the middle. I mean, it seems to me that the Australians are... I don't know. It feels like it's quite hard going for them, but at the same time, the Japanese don't seem that strong in some parts of the board.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, broke the unit at the bottom. Another guy goes in. Oh, we got a flame. Now, is that all broken units in H3?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's just one
broken half squad, isn't it? Yeah. But it probably didn't start out as a
right.
Japanese just brought out a hip unit, caught those guys in the road. They seem to get away with it. A bit of... Yeah, they've got into these buildings. Okay. Another tank onto hero appeared at the bottom there. They've even got the little rule things at the side.
I know.
It's just very, very good. I just feel like such not a professional in comparison to other people. All that smoke. Right, that smoke's coming from a fire.
Do you remember who created this? Someone created this for us, didn't they?
Yeah.
Do you remember who that was? We should give them a shout out.
Who prepared this specific? Wasn't it just Tom Rapetti?
Was it Tom?
Do you know what? I don't know.
Okay, we'll have a quick look.
Bad.
Yeah, we'll have a look.
It will be one of the people in the tournament. It's the kind of thing Tom does.
Okay. All right.
Are you looking for it?
Oh no, I was just gonna. We'll look it up in a second.
Okay, right, yeah. Okay. So where's all that smoke coming from, Dave?
Well, it's the mild breeze, isn't it? So there's a mild breeze coming on from the. I think the smoke was fired from the tank.
Oh yeah. So it's just the normal smoke, yeah. Okay.
It may have been the mortars as well.
Yeah. Oh, so it's all that smoke is like significant, isn't it? That's because it affects movement and fire. Yeah. Okay. Gusts all gone away. Okay. Yeah. There's a big melee at the bottom. Okay, so this is the Japanese prep firing. That 9-2 managed to survive in the shell holes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of prep fire.
I mean, it looks tough for the Australians at this point.
I think so. Oh, that was a nice shot from the Australians, though. Japanese, another broken unit, then moving away. These must be advances. Yeah, just gained concealment.
That melee still
going.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is now Australian turn 4. I think. Yeah. Oh no, sorry, we're finishing off the melees. Sorry. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. They wiped each other out.
I think they wiped each other out. That was an important melee.
Yeah.
For both sides. Both wanted to win that. Right. So this is now prep fire from the Australians.
They don't have a lot left, do they?
No.
So another tank anti-hero doesn't do it.
Doesn't do it. There's
street fighting, I guess, there.
Oh
no! There's
wow. Was that a bounding fire shot?
That was it was weird. So something happened there. Jumped in. Dave had a 9, then a 4 on the IFT. I guess there was a KA result maybe.
Do you want to go back?
So I think it was a 4. I'm assuming the 4 was on the flamethrower attack. So I guess that's a KIA something, and then there was there was a 6 roll by Dave as well for the.
Might have been the machine guns.
Probably against the machine gun to mouth it rather than to KO to remove it.
But we got another tank hunter hero just popped up in C4. You can tell that this is a guy who knows his business.
Assad is definitely pulling out the.
Yeah.
He's not had a lot of luck with it.
No. 4.
10 on the close combat.
10. What's the 4 then? What's the?
It might be to create it, isn't it? If there's a hip squad there, for example.
I guess so. I thought it was 2 dice even for that. Anyway, the Australians looking a little bit more confident now.
Yes,
Somebody made a route for them. Yeah. Wow.
Oh, maybe the 4 was for the anti-tank magnetic mines or something.
Oh yes, it would have been. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, it's on 1 to 3. They have the mines, don't they? Okay.
Yeah, suddenly now.
Yeah,
got the paths opened up for them.
It really has, hasn't it? It'd be interesting. I don't know if there's any more hip units to.
Yeah.
And then actually they're turning the guns.
We haven't seen the infantry. Oh, the infantry guns in there. Yeah. That's not going to help.
No. And now it's become almost irrelevant what happens down in the bottom, isn't it?
Right.
It's all about whether he can get enough off at the top. With turn 4, Australian advances now. Right, there is still Japanese units in C4.
Okay.
Oh no, there are Australian units moved in. Beg your pardon. Yeah. Okay, so this is.
So we've got 3, 4, 11, maybe 18, 19, 20. I mean, there's barely 21, 22 points.
Yeah.
If they get them all off there, so they've got.
Yeah.
They've got their work cut out still.
You got the 9-2 is completely not in the right place to take advantage of this, but they've got a flamethrower next to G5.
Yeah.
If they can take that gun out, I think it changes things a little bit. Anyway, they prep fired and pinned him. So yeah, the shot back might be how they deal with it. And they've also got guys behind that gun.
Something happened in B3 there. What happened in
B3? B3.
Something happened, I thought, in there.
Oh, so some units are broken in C4.
Yeah, something happened. I guess they got fired back at.
So they've obviously been fired at from the medium machine gun in E2. Oh, no. Yeah, because prep fired.
Right, okay.
And they've broken...
Right, yeah, because the shell holes are taking away the...
Yeah. They've broken the leader and the squad.
Yeah.
Well, that swings it quite a bit back
absolutely,
towards the Japanese. Yeah. But the Japanese trying to get back.
Yeah.
Doing the right thing. Oh, look, they got encircled. The gun's encircled. They're going to go into have to take them in close combat then, aren't they? Yeah, Jeff.
Oh, blaze.
Right, we've got a proper blaze now in E4.
Yeah.
Smoke. Yeah, broken Australians. So I think this is looking it's still looking like a Japanese win, I think.
Yeah. So 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, I mean, it looks like... I mean, you've still got 3 turns, though. That's the thing.
That's the thing, yeah. And you've got plenty of points because you've got 9-2. He's with 2 squads, I think. I mean, that's a lot of points.
Yeah.
No, it's 1.5 squads. So it's
you've got to get rid of that gun, haven't they, though? That's the thing.
But I think that's going to happen. Oh, hang on. What just happened?
You think it's going to happen? It just did happen, yeah. There was a prep fire from the flamethrower, I guess, was it?
Right, okay.
Rolled a 3.
Yeah, that would do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, that really opens things up,
yeah.
I think, for the Australians. I think we're going to see the 9-2 running. These guys are heading off.
All right. Oh, it's just a wounded leader with a demo charge in B3.
Yeah. Yeah, they're heading for the exit, and there's not many Japanese in their way. Everything's final fired. I'm having a chat, I think. Oh, look, the flames. Those buildings are all going to go up, aren't they? They've already got an important close combat. So
yeah, it's against a wounded leader. I think it's not.
Right, okay,
yes, right. Yes. I mean, it's not huge, yeah.
No.
But, yeah, the wounded leader's killed off.
Looks like they won it, yeah.
And suddenly the Japanese got very little to defend now, have they? They've got the medium.
Yeah. It's so funny how it just seemed to switch very quickly in a way. I think this is a good game, though. I love how it's had different fights going on in different areas. Right, the load was that Australians just broke? Yeah, load of Australians in G4.
Yep, the 9-2's coming up. Still turn 5. Still 2 more turns to go.
Japanese have broken the guy on the south, so they've potentially got the opportunity to reinforce the north.
A nice use of smoke there to cover that.
Yeah.
That D2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the Japanese? No, it's a British.
Yeah, in A4.
In A4, yeah. Right, so they're getting off in numbers now.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's.
So we're
probably close points
3,
wise.
4,
now this,
18. Yeah, I mean, I guess. Did they need anything else off?
Well, they're trying to move the 9-2 off. Okay, he's gone that way.
So what's he? Oh, okay, that's it. So we've got 2, 4, 5, 12, 19, 20. I think you got 21 off at the moment, I think.
Okay, so that. This might be the end of the game then. I think they might be just having a chat.
Yeah, 21 off. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, and the dice rolls there. I mean, very, very average. Both rolled.
Yeah.
7.05, 7.06. Look, good game, wasn't it? That one, good game.
Yeah, that looked like a really good game. Yeah.
So credit to you, Martin, for picking the scenarios. We have to say, but very well done to Dave Moresk and to Acid for a great final.
Yes, absolutely.
We let's pick back to here. Let's grab the picture of the prize, which you can now see on the screen. Engraved. Well done, Ian, for a great job of that.
I think that picture is not quite finished.
Exactly. He said he was a little more work to do.
Yeah.
And it's on your way. It's on its way to you, Dave, as we speak. So not only does Ian make it, he also takes it to the post office for us.
Yes.
The less we have to do.
Last year, I had to drive to Nottingham to pick it up from him.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay,
well, I didn't have it. It was I was going up to see my son's at university there, so I went up to see my son and we picked it up.
That's nice. That's nice. Yeah, very, very good. So well played, everybody. I mean, that was great. Martin, thanks for organising it, and everybody, thank you for participating. And again, thanks to all the patrons who have supported us. And we have to do a shout out to new patrons. So thank you to Christopher Rothbury, C. Scott Kippin, Andreas Rovio, and Todd Cox. Very much appreciate your support, as we do with all of the Patreons. You'll now have access to the nice graphics on the ASL Scenario Archive. But thank you again. We appreciate it a lot, and we hope you enjoy the content. Martin,
absolutely.
Anything else?
I think we're done, aren't we? Done. I mean, next time we're gonna be doing some Eric Lee's campaign game 1. We've already played the first 8, so we're ready to go with that, ready to roll with that.
Yep. And you're off to a tournament in England?
Absolutely, yes. We got Bounding Fire. I think it's the 15th. Begins the 15th of November. Runs from Wednesday to Sunday, and I'm going to be heading to that. We think we probably won't be going there this year.
Probably. Yep.
But I'm kind of looking forward to that. I'm going to be playing Toby Pilling. It's the only game I've got lined up. So I'll be able to, first day, I'll be able to hold my head in shame, having had my arse handed to me. And and then I'm in the tournament. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see how that goes. Nice.
All right. Well, okay. If I don't make it, good luck. And if I do, then I'll look forward to beating you.
Then we'll have a game.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Okay, well, thanks very much. Thanks to everybody who have contributed. Give us a shout if you've played the St. Mary Glees campaign game. We'd love to hear from you so that we can include some content for next time. It didn't seem like there was a lot of play on any of the reported sites, so...
there was none. No reported playings.
Yeah, so let us know if you've played the campaign game or what you think of the campaign games in general. And we will catch up with you next time. Until then, bye-bye.
Take care all. Bye-bye.